Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. My name is Ira Feuerstein, and with a company called Telesystem. I've also got Bruce Wirt here, our Chief Revenue Officer. We're going to have an amazing conversation today. We're going to teach our partners how to earn their unfair share of the cybersecurity market. And I know, Bruce, you've been with the company a long time. I'm a month old in the company, so I think it'd be much better if you kind of give an overview. And I think you're muted, just so you know. There you go.
Sure, yeah. No, hopefully everybody can hear me. And people know the Ira Feuerstein brand, so probably better than the Telesystem brand. I'm so excited to be here and do this with Ira. Obviously, you guys know, if you're on this call, you understand the value of cybersecurity mitigation. Cybersecurity is the biggest threat that any business can have in 2022. It's really true. Those of you who have been telecom agents for a long time, you know that 20 years ago, our biggest threat was copper wires getting wet in the rain and initiating a trouble call for a POTS line or a T1. Now, the threats involve the entire business going down for days or weeks at a time, and really for small businesses going completely out of business. So this is not just a $300 billion plus market by the year 2030. It's a way for you really to do the right thing and protect your customers for the long term. So I hope you find value in what Ira's going to bring today. Telesystem, for those of you who don't know, we're relatively new to the channel. When I say the channel, the national channel. So we've been a fiber provider and a fiber operator in the Midwest. We've built fiber in Northwest Ohio and Southeastern Michigan, starting all the way back in the 1990s. And in 2014, we started to grow this company nationally. And today, we have a 100 gig fiber network, coast to coast with low latency. And some people call us an aggregator. I hate that term. We're an inside out company. So we start at the core. We understand how your business works, and then we build solutions for customers that cover all of the areas of the technology that you use. So not just cybersecurity, that's part of the core, but managed security, what goes on in your premise. Obviously, VoIP and access are parts of that mix, but we're not the aggregator that just slings anything, including maybe your breakfast on a bill and divides it by 36. So really, I think Ira has a dynamic presentation. We're very excited with our acquisition of Threat Protector that happened a few months ago now, and having Ira and Carl Katz on the team. Carl was part of that Threat Protector acquisition. He now runs our channel team nationwide, and it's a growing team. So we hope to see more of you all across the country in different markets as we go forward. But without further ado, you don't want to listen to me babble anymore. Let me turn it over to the man, the myth, the legend, Ira Feuerstein.
All right. Thanks, Bruce, for doing that. Appreciate it. And let's do this. Let's do this, everyone. So today we want to talk about how to earn your unfair share of cybersecurity. Most of you know me. Some of you may not. Maybe none of you know me. I don't know. But over the years, I've been pretty big in the UCaaS world and building a very large channel program. And I really understand the intricacies and the day in and day out of what you all do. And I know that many have not made the pivot to cybersecurity yet for a variety of reasons, but we're going to change that today. So some ground rules for you all. Number one, you're all muted. So there's a chat window if you want to ask, and I'm looking over here because I've got it up over here on another screen. But if you have questions or comments, you can put it in the chat window. We'll try to get to as many as possible, but you are muted. I'm here at home in Arizona. Beautiful day out today, but I do have two dogs. I'm going to show you here. If they start barking, these are the two you can blame. We rescued these two, Hazel and Harper, during COVID. So there are two little additions to the family. So if they start barking, blame it on them, not me. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that businesses are under attack. And I've got this little video that I've always loved because what it does is it shows kind of inside the mind of a hacker and how they think. And I think it'd be very surprising to you. So I'm going to play this little video and then we'll kind of get into the details.
How did you decide to become a hacker?
Well,
I'm not really sure what it means to become a hacker. That's like some guy in a hoodie who types really fast and stays up all night writing code and cracking passwords. It's not me. I just spy on people and see what makes them click. It's not a bad job.
Mark Hanning, CEO of Qualicart, set to report earnings after their blockbuster IPO.
So you consider this a job?
I put a lot of work into this. I'm not lazy. It takes research to figure out the key players, learn all about them, their families, their friends, what they care about. You have to understand the company's organization. I get a lot of my information from the sales department because they're always so quick and eager. They're hungry. People trust too easily. They don't look at the details. I do. Details matter. That's what I'm good at. It has to look completely believable. It has to look familiar. This is where research is important. It's not some generic piece of spam. It's an email from their boss with their company's signature. It's written in the voice of the boss. It's what he would say if he were writing this.
What about the malware itself? How does that work?
Somebody else out there already wrote all the code that does the actual attack. I'm just using it in the attachment. My skill is in my ability to get a bunch of people to click on that attachment. I always wonder what it's like when the whole thing unfolds on their end, when the panic sets in.
Please leave your message after the beep.
Hey, this is Rajiv in finance. Call me as soon as you get this. Something's up with my laptop. I can't.
Are you on your way into the office? Something's going on with our file servers.
Karen in HR, our benefits dashboard seems really slow. We're getting calls from users on it. Give me a call when you get this. Joining conference now.
Apparently, there's a malware attack targeting our main...
It's ransomware. They're holding us hostage. We're locked out of everything. I can't even check my phone. What about the backup?
That will take days.
We need this fixed now. Pay it. We don't have a choice. We're reporting earnings in 2 hours.
But how do we know that they'll...
Pay it. Put every single person on getting us back up and running. That's the only priority now. Okay, it's done. I have the decrypt key. Mark, we have a big problem. The ransomware was just to distract us. They got inside. They got everything. Customer data, financials, everything.
Qualicart is reeling today from the news that hackers have released the personal information of nearly
The
2
Nasdaq
million
closed
customers.
lower today, led by Qualicart, which was down 14% on news that the recent data breach may be far worse than the company originally.
Stock fell to a new all-time low on news that CEO Mark Hanning is stepping down after what is turning out to be one of the worst breaches of personal information in recent history.
Do you feel bad about releasing the personal information? All the financials? All the money that was lost?
All I did was get the files. I'm not the one that decided to release them. I'm not the one that shorted the stock. Somebody else had their reasons for that. It's above my pay grade. I was paid to do a job, and I did it well. And that's what's expected of anyone, isn't it? Anyway, markets bounce back.
So as you can see, cybercrime is experiencing exponential growth. It's affecting every sector, every type of business, anyone you can think of. Because what if you take 1 point away from this, take this 1 point away, is that these criminal organizations, and I say organizations because it really is, they're run like businesses. They're run no different than your business, like Telesystem. They have lawyers, and they have hackers, and they have salespeople, and they have developers. But the big thing is they're funded by governments mostly. And you probably know the actors, right? It's Chinese government, North Korean government, Iranians, you name it. Bad actors keep coming out. And so these nation states are funding these criminal organizations. If you look at the North Koreans, they fund like 80% of their government through cybercrime. Can you imagine that? In 2022, the breaches have been off the chart. So basically, Uber, Toyota, Facebook, Los Angeles Unified School District, American Airlines, North Face, IHG, which is a hotel chain, TikTok, Samsung, DoorDash. These have all happened in the past 2 months. 2 months. This goes back to September 1st. Now think about this for a minute. If companies like you see here, who have all the resources in the world, they're having trouble stopping this stuff, what does that say for the small to mid-sized companies that most partners are selling into? They don't really know what to do. So it's up to us to give them the steps and the processes to improve their cyber posture. So understand that businesses of all sizes are under extreme pressure here. I mean, these cyber attacks have increased over 50% in the past year. And like that graph shows, it's growing exponentially. And I think one of the scariest things, frankly, is many times the bad guys will come into a customer network and it will take almost a year. Stay stealth. It'll take almost a year before somebody figures out there are bad people in their network. Can you imagine the damage that can be done in a year? People exfiltrating your data and doing whatever they want with all your data. Spear phishing and phishing attacks are growing crazy. We'll get into those things later, but breach costs are going up and up. Actually, we need to update the slide because now a single breach on average costs over $300,000 to remediate. Many businesses go into, 7 figures, millions of dollars. Most businesses actually end up going under, going out of business within 6 months of being breached. That's what's at stake here. Now, think about it from your financial perspective. Let's say you've gone into a customer and you've sold them the traditional voice, you've sold them data, whatever you've sold them. They get hacked and they go out of business. Guess what? All your revenue streams go away. And I think the one thing that I think people aren't thinking about a lot is the fact that cyber insurance companies are making it virtually impossible to get one anymore. Or they're just not even renewing your policy. They're making these customers go through so many hoops just to get a rate that's triple what they paid the last year. Why? Because these cyber insurance companies are getting slaughtered. I talked to a CEO last week of a cyber insurance company. He's like, man, we're almost thinking about getting out of the business. He goes, we are getting crushed. He goes, it's just awful. And, if you look at IT teams, think about small businesses for a minute. Small businesses have no IT team, right? Most times it's the owner of the company or a receptionist doing the IT work. So they have nobody. But you go into like the mid and even some of the large companies, they have IT teams, but they're running lean and mean. I mean, we talk to customers routinely. 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 employees. They have 3 people working in IT. They can't keep up. There's just no way. And the resources are so limited that there isn't enough time to do it all to protect their business. So what it's done is it's actually created the perfect storm for these businesses. And, the businesses, once they've been hacked, the impact is crazy. Like there are 7 major things that impact. Number 1, losing all your data. Could you imagine that? Losing everything. That would be certainly a kiss of death for a business if you had no good backups and you lost all your data. Number 2, sales cease. Number 3, you could take weeks or months or even years to repair the damage. Customer damage. That would make my head explode if it happened to me because customer complaints, they're going to go off the charts. No one's going to trust your customer anymore. Layoffs of employees. I've had to do that before. I've had to go in front of like 2,000 people and lay them off, and that's a bad thing. And that definitely happens with these cybersecurity breaches. Endless legal bills. I mean, it never ends. And then you have to contend, maybe, depending on your industry, with federal and state audits after the breach is disclosed. If you're in healthcare, you got the HIPAA cops coming after you. And guess what? That's not going to be good. So, the question becomes like, should I just pay the ransom? If they put a ransom on me and they say, listen, we want $1 million. If we have the money, should we just pay it? And, the FBI will tell you no. You don't pay it, but unfortunately, a lot of people do. That's how these cyber criminal syndicates make their money. So, if you pay the ransom, the best case is you get your data back. Sometimes maybe you pay the ransom and you don't get your data back. I'm going to share a story with you all today that is about me. And this is a story I will tell you right now. So it's like, when you watch America's Got Talent and they do some sort of stunt where, a guy's blowing fire and throwing like knives at another guy and stuff. And they always say, don't try this at home. What I'm about to describe to you is a don't try this at home. It's not very smart, but I needed to do this for a variety of reasons. So, I have a Facebook account, personal account. I've used it for a long time. And frankly, I like it. It lets me keep up with friends and family and partners and stuff. It's cool. But at one point, I had to start a threat protector page. So our partners had a place and our customers had a place that they can go on Facebook to get information. Facebook only allows you to tie it to a personal profile. Dumb, but that's the way it is. So I created the threat protector page. I tied it in my Facebook profile. I put my credit card in there so we can do advertising with the threat protector page. And then lo and behold, one day I log in. I can't get into my Facebook account. Locked. And literally, there's no way in. And if you've ever tried with a social media company of getting help, try. There's no help. No one you can call. There's no one you can email. There's no one you can chat with, unless you want to chat with a bot all day long. And I even went through the hassle of calling Facebook's corporate office. They kind of laughed at me. Like, oh, well, maybe you got to start a new account. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I need this. This is the business, because it's tied inextricably together. So I thought, okay, I'm going to fight fire with fire. I'm going to leave out specific details because I don't want you to go do this. But I went out and hired a hacker, a real hacker. And what I told the guy is I said, I want you to hack my Facebook account back. The bad guys. I have to have this account. I go, how much is it going to cost? It's $250. I'm like, done. It's the best $250 I can spend because these fools have access to all my business information and they have all my access to my credit card and ad spend. I'm like, I need it back. So I paid the guy $250. Of course, I only take Bitcoin. It's untraceable. So I sent the $250 in Bitcoin, to the guy. A week later, I hear nothing from the guy. Nothing. And I'm getting nervous because I'm thinking maybe I got scammed. Because you're dealing with awful people, really. So I hit the guy with like 10 messages on this platform he uses for encryption so no one can trace where he is. I'm like, dude, after like 10 messages, he wasn't responding. I sent one last try. I'm like, dude, please, will you just respond to me? I was just trying to plead with the guy. And he did. And he goes, oh, we ran into a problem. There's like this multi-factor authentication on the account. And we need to break that multi-factor authentication, in order to get your account back. I'm like, well, can you? He's like, yeah. He goes, but I need another $500. I'm thinking to myself, oh man, here we go. The guy's extorting me. He's preying on my state of thinking. So I paid the guy the $500. I need the account back. Another week goes by. So now I'm in $750. Another week goes by. Nothing. Radio silence again. And I sent the guy a message on his platform. I'm like, man, can you please, I know you're a hacker and I know what you're doing. And I go, but I really, I'm pleading with you to your sense of being a good person. Let's get this done. I would hope you would do that. Just, as a guy to guy, person to person. He after a week, he got back to me and said, hey, almost done. I need another $250. I'm like, why? And he gave up some baloney, reason. And so I paid him the $250. I said, listen, that's it. I'm in $1,000, no more. You can take all my data if they want. I don't care. I'm going to pay it. And if you come back to me again, you want more money, guess what? You're not getting anything. So you get your $1,000 and you feel like a hero, I guess, by scamming me. I was getting really irritated. And a day later, he came back to me. He goes, your account's yours again. I got it back. So the moral of the story is don't do that. But the real moral of the story is these people are awful, right? And, you may pay the ransom, but the worst case is you get an unwanted bonus, which is extortion. Extorting you for money because all they care about is making money. They don't care how they do it. So it's important for everyone in the channel to understand that cybersecurity is the next wave. I've been in UCAS for a long, long time. I started the Nexiva channel program 8.5 years ago. And, the channel, the wave of UCAS, waves in technology always start way out at sea. And then they slowly come in until they eventually crash on the shore, right? And the UCAS wave started out, 12 years ago, way out at sea, but now it's really close to the shore. Like you can see by the pricing that's out there. It's crashing. The wave is crashing, and there will always be a room for telecom and UCAS and stuff, but you need to be able to catch the newest wave. Why do surfers ride a wave in and then paddle back out to grab another wave? Because that's the only way to do it. So cybersecurity is the next channel wave, and the question then becomes, as a partner, where do I begin? Some of you may have dabbled in cybersecurity. In the chat window, just type in if you've sold cybersecurity. Just type in yes or something. Let's see what everyone says. But, some of you have done that. Others of you have thought about it. Others of you have not done anything with it yet, or and who knows? Maybe it's because you're intimidated. Maybe it's because it can be complex. But the big thing to understand is you need just start with the basics. Babies don't go running a marathon, the minute they get out of their crib, right? It's a crawl, walk, run approach. And that's, what I highly recommend each of you take. So there are 3 cybersecurity must-haves. These are, this is like crawling, right? These are the 3 services you should be offering. And by the way, they're all 3 are things that we at Threat Protector, and Telesystem provide. So the first one is security awareness training. I'm going to do a little test for you in the chat window. What percent of breaches in the world do you think are caused by a human making an error in a business? Let's type in what you think. I'd love to see it. Oh, okay. So most of you are in the ballpark. I mean, see, Keith says 70, Nate 99, Kevin 76%, Jonathan 95, 80 from Ross. Yeah, so you're all in the ballpark. It's roughly around 80%. 80% of all breaches happen because of human error. And it's because it's the easiest way in. Like, if you're a thief, you're walking down a street and you're looking for a house to break into, and there are 2 houses right next to each other. One of them has the lights on inside, the windows are all shut, security sign in the front yard, garage is shut, car in the driveway. You walk to the next house, lights are off, garage door is left on, no security sign, no evidence that anybody's there. Where are you going to break into? So water always takes the shortest path down a hill. Same with the criminals. They're going to take the shortest path, and security awareness training is really how you fix that. We're going to concentrate mostly on that today. Second thing is endpoint protection. You got to protect the people. You got to protect the computers. Then you also have to protect the email. Those are the 3 layers of defense that every customer has to have. Okay? Then there's a 4th that's not a has to have, but it's a good to have for larger companies, which is Managed Security Operations Center. So what this is designed for companies, 100 or more employees, And what it is, it's 24/7 threat hunting by outsource. So meaning the customer doesn't have enough people to threat hunt on their network and be watching for things happening all day long because they're run ragged. So they outsource that to a company like us to do that for them 24/7. So the first three products can be sold to really any customer, any and all. This fourth product, the Security Operations Center, really is designed for 100 seats and more. Okay? So what's your unfair advantage? Well, the unfair advantage really is you need to create customer need and they never knew they had one. I'm going to pause for a minute. I want you thinking about that. Think about like all the things you sell today. Bandwidth, UCaaS, maybe some credit card processing, call center. Think about all those things you sell. And try to think of any one of those things where you, as a partner, can actually create the need for the customer. I dare you to come up with something. I don't think you will. Why? Because all those products require that the customer has to have a need, and it can only be created within the customer. So let's just take UCaaS, for example. They're moving. They just bought a new business. Their phone system just died. They hate their current provider. Same things for bandwidth, right? So it's like the customer need comes from within something happening there. Otherwise, you have no discussion. In our world, I'm going to show you a Trojan horse weapon, secret weapon. And basically, what it does is it allows you to create need for a customer when they never knew they had a need. Because if you get your arms around this, you're going to do very, very well in cybersecurity. So what I want you to do, this is not a test. A lot of people ask me, is this a test of what you're going to do to me right now? So I'm going to put up a QR code on the screen. Use your phone, scan that QR code because you're going to need that. Basically what it does is it's going to take you to a registration page for our tool. And you're going to register. We're going to vet you out. So don't use a Gmail address. Don't use your business email address if you have one. If you only have Gmail or Yahoo or something, that's fine. We'll have to vet you a different way. But this is a tool that we've created only for partners, not for anybody else. So we control it very tightly. And what it's going to do is it's going to help you create the need for a customer when they didn't know they had a need. And we'll get into the demo of that here in a few moments. But I'll give you one more second or two to scan the code. And if you don't get it, if you don't have a QR code reader on your phone, don't worry about it. I'll make sure we send you the link, so you'll be good anyway. All right, so how do we put this all together? Well, we talked about those three products. The three products were the baseline products are protect the people, security awareness training, protect the devices, and protect the email. We're going to talk today about protecting the people. Why? Most breaches happen because of this. So how do we fix it? So what we do is we first educate their employees. Think about this. If my son is, he just came out of school as an emergency room vet, right? He got his first job. He spent 8 years in school learning how to be a vet, doing surgeries, all this stuff. And he comes out, gets his first job. The first thing he hears from this emergency veterinary clinic is, hey, guess what? For the first year, you will be shadowed by another vet on every single appointment, every single surgery, everything. Because you know what? They want to make sure that he doesn't screw up, right, and end up killing an animal by mistake. So education is crucial in every part of life. If you're a manufacturing person trying to run a manufacturing line, they're going to teach you how to do that. If you're a receptionist, they're going to teach you how to do that. So we can't expect our employees to do a great job protecting the business from bad guys if they haven't been educated, right? Like, it's not rocket science here. So education is critical. We do that in two methods. The first method is we do a yearly security training with these people. So once a year, they're going to get educated, and we're going to bring them up to speed on the baseline expectations. So it's a 30-minute video-based class, 20 questions. They have to score an 80% or higher. And then what we've done is we've then taken them to baseline expectation. We are not trying to make these people cybersecurity experts. No way. But we need to let them know just enough to know what to do and what not to do. Now, to be fair, there's a zillion companies out there that can do yearly education for cybersecurity. Hard to find, but what's hard to find is all the rest of this stuff. So we take that yearly training and we supplement it with weekly micro training. So once a week, these employees are going to get a 2-minute video. The 2-minute video is about something that's happening right now in the world of cybersecurity. And it's super important. So that's where the rubber meets the road. We're only asking 2 minutes a week from these employees. So it's easy, right? Anyone can afford 2 minutes a week. They can't come back and say, oh, this is too much. I can't do it. It's interfering with my job. Yeah, right. It's 2 minutes. Now, the cool thing about the education is that we can take that education and make it even more simple. Instead of making them go to another website and go take the training, which they could, we actually, if your customer uses Office 365, we can blend the training right into Outlook. Literally, there's a button right on Outlook that says take training, and all the trainings show up right there, so they don't even need to go anywhere. Again, taking excuses away from customers. Now, education is super critical. It's number one. It's the cornerstone of the building we're trying to build here. But it's not the end-all be-all, right? So the second step are phishing simulations. So I want to throw it out there. Anyone know what a phishing email is? You can define it for me in the chat window. I'd love to see it. Most of you know, or some of you may know, but phishing really is the number one attack vector. So humans are the number one, 80% responsible, and most of those responsible have been taken advantage of by a fake email, right? We've all seen them. Some of them are really good and hard to spot. Some of them are really easy to spot, you would think, but they still get people. So phishing is where the bad guys send out Amazon email to 1 million people. And what they're doing is they're taking a net, they're out on a boat, they're taking a net, they're throwing it out into the water, they're reeling up the fishing net. And when they reel up that net and they put it on board, they have, mahi-mahi, they have mackerel, they have sharks, they have all kinds of different fish. So it's a very generic way of getting people. It's very effective, but very generic. What's more complicated and scarier is something called spear phishing. Spear phishing is so dangerous because what they do, and I'm just going to pick on Kevin because he just answered my question over here, and I just saw him a couple weeks ago. So let's say Kevin's credentials were stolen and put up for sale on the dark web, and they were stolen on like LinkedIn, right? Spear phishing means I know something about Kevin. I know who he is. I know where he works. I know he's a LinkedIn user, and I send a targeted email at him. A spear. For Kevin. Very dangerous. So what we do is we send out once a month, we send out a phishing simulation to people. And what we're doing is we're trying to get them to notice the difference between a good and a bad email. It's not that easy. I'm telling you. Like, I've gotten very savvy IT people with a good fish. It's not that easy. But we have a tool in Outlook that allows them, if they see something suspicious, they can click on a button. It's called Catch Fish. We analyze the email, we bring it back up on their screen, and we literally point out, we don't like that, we don't like that, we don't like that. So we're teaching people what to spot. So once a month, we send out those fraudulent emails, teaching them good from bad. Third step, dark web monitoring. We're going to get into that here in a few moments. So dark web, criminal playground. It's where bad guys are doing awful things. I've been there. You don't want to go there. I'm not even going to describe what I've seen because it's awful. But One of the things that they're doing there is they're buying and selling credentials of your clients. Think about that. I can get access to their passwords, a lot about these people, social security numbers, credit card numbers, all on the dark web, and all very cheap. I could buy probably 1,000 credentials for maybe $100, and I'll know everything about you. I'll be able to destroy you for $1,000. So we monitor the dark web 24/7, and what we're doing is we're looking for employees who have been exposed. Their credentials have been stolen, and they've put up on a criminal forum. Fourth step, security policies. So security policies are critical, especially if you're trying to get cyber insurance. We actually have written 10 prepackaged, very strong cybersecurity policies for our customers. The reason we did that is because many don't have anything. Even some big companies don't have anything, or what they have is ridiculous. It's like not effective at all. And you got to realize, if your people haven't signed off on security policies, good ones, you get breached, and the cyber insurance company comes back to you and says, hey, let's see the security policies, what they signed off on and what date and everything. If you don't have them, or they're not good, you're not getting a payout. None. Cyber insurance company is going to go, nope, sorry, you didn't do what we expected. So we could write those security policies. We have them. They could write their own and upload them, but we will get the employees to acknowledge those security policies. And then the last step is measurement, because what you don't measure, you can't fix. So if you think about it, we know a lot about these people, right? We know, their scores on their tests. We know the scores on the phishing. We know how often they've been found on the dark web. And basically what we've done, we know if they've accepted the security policies. We take it all, put it all together and put it in something called an employee security score. Think of it as a credit score. When you buy a house, no loan for you if you don't have a good enough credit score. Well, it's the same with us. But that we build a security score based on human security. So now your customers will know everything about their people. They will know who are the weak points and who are the ones to worry about and who are the ones to not. So let's just show a quick demo here of the platform. So, if you look here, when I log in as an IT administrator, I see and I'm looking over here because this is where I have the demo. I'm sorry, but you have this company is at a 442 employee security score. Awful. Red. Red means bad. Red, yellow, green. Green's the best. So this company has not done very well. They have a very flat trend over the past 6 weeks, been red every week, so they're not really doing anything to improve. At the bottom, you've got the data breaches, so they've been involved in 3 new dark web data breaches. We've got our phishing attack failure rates and our security training scores and everything right here. And then on the right, as an IT person, I see the list of employees and where they stand and who's a risk and who's not. So you look at this, you can look at this list and I don't know, look who's number one, right? So my score is a 705. They have nothing to worry about me. I'm in the green range. But we have a lot of trouble children down here below 350, which means none of them are taking this as serious at all. So we need to definitely do something about that. Across the top, I've got reports galore. Like if you wanted to get a report on, for an executive summary, you can get it. If you wanted to look at your dark web reports, you can get it. This is an example of a high-level summary for an executive team. It goes through, all the data, what your score is, how well you're doing against all our other customers, what your trend line looks like, what your phishing failure rates are, data breaches. We put your employees into buckets, so how many employees are in each risk category. And then at the bottom, we show you all your employees and why they're at where they're at with their security scores. But understand this, that we know IT teams are busy. They don't need to administer any of this stuff. Nothing. We're going to do it. And most of this is automated. All we expect our customer to do once we get them through onboarding, which generally takes less than a week, all we expect them to do is go in, run reports, hold people accountable. Everything else is automated here. They have the ability once a year to do a security risk assessment. So once a year, we're gonna go through 55 different areas of their business, and we're gonna help them understand where are they weak. Where are they weak within the business. And they have employee assessments. They can assess employees before they hire them for cybersecurity, but everything's right here in this one place. Now, the employee has a scaled down version. So the employee only sees their own data. So you'll notice it's very much the same as what the IT person saw. The difference, though, is on the right, they've got two things that are important. We give them their steps they need to do to improve their employee security score. So, hey, Mr. Employee, if you're at a 600, if you want to increase your score, do this, do this, do this, do this. We give them their roadmap. The other thing that we do is we drive behavior by showing them where they stand in a list. This will drive behavior. I guarantee it. Even in companies that say their people are not competitive, they really are, as soon as we show this to them. So you'll notice a big difference here, though. When I'm an employee and I'm logged in, I don't see people's names, right? I'm seeing their screen names. When the IT team logs in, they see people's names. Because, as an employee, I don't want to be, if I'm the CEO of a company, I'm last in the list, I exposed everyone's names to the team, what are the odds your new security awareness training program has been destroyed? I'll give you the number. It's 100%. 100%. So we don't want to demotivate people, but we want to motivate. So we show them in a list. They can look at them how they compare against the company. They can also look at how they stack up against 500,000 users on the platform. So they can see how they field in the whole ecosystem also. And of course, they can look at their own dark web reports, and they can take the trainings from within here. So you can see here, the last one is Cyber Stories, A Tale of Software Updates. So they can click Watch Now. I'll play a little bit of it. Oh, this is funny. It's like a Santa Claus guy.
What the simple task could be.
So basically,
once upon a time, there was a girl named
Cyber Software Updates. They watch a little 2-minute video, and then 4 questions at the bottom, and then they're done for the week. Really, really super simple. So that's the platform. By the way, we sell this in 1, 2, or 3-year terms, and it depends on the size and the term, but figure anywhere between $1 and $5 per user per month. So it's not crazy expensive, and it's designed that way for a reason. We want ease of sale for our partners. We want this to be the appetizer the foot in the door, for you to get your foot in the door. And then what happens is we get them up and running on this. Then we go back to them and say, hey, what are you doing to protect your email? Oh, well, we can help you with that. Let's demo that. Hey, what are you doing to protect your endpoints, your PCs and your Macs? Oh, well, we can help you with that, right? And then you start slowly selling them up the food chain. But we found that security awareness training is the lowest hanging fruit because most customers don't have it, or what they have is inadequate. And it's easy to understand for everybody. You don't need to understand bits and bytes and all this crazy stuff. You just need to understand, hey, your employees are the weakest link. You need to fix that. A couple bucks per user per month. You're off to the races. So I want to show you the secret weapon. So hopefully you guys all registered for this. This is that partner protected page I was telling you about. I promise you'd get a secret weapon. You're going to get it. So once you get registered and we approve you, which we'll have done today, you get this page. And so it tells you, here are the 5 steps of how you use this tool. And then you have this rectangle. And all you do is you type in or cut and paste in the email domains of your customers. And so an email domain is not necessarily the website. Okay, it's whatever comes after the @ sign in their email address. So @ and then whatever comes after it, xyz.com. So for fun, I put in a couple in here. I put CNN.com, put FoxNews.com, and I put IDon'tCare.com because I don't know what side of the aisle anyone's on, and I don't care, frankly, but I don't want to get anyone irritated. So we got everything covered here. So you put in your email domains, hit Generate Table. And then down below, you get in a few seconds data back. So what does this say? This tells you that CNN.com has 11,177 employees that have had breached CNN credentials. Think about that. Fox News, 9,119. IDon'tCare.com is doing the best at 2,376. So now you actually know something the customer doesn't know. This is powerful. Get your arms around this. Embrace this, because there is no other tool anywhere in the channel that I've ever seen, and I've been around a long time, and I'm pretty in tune, that allows you to create need for a customer when they didn't know they had a need. So now you know something, most likely 95% chance that they don't know. It's going to be news to them. So what do you do with this? Simple. Scan down the page. And do me a favor, before you use this tool, read the whole page. Take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. Read through it, watch the videos, because you need to learn a couple of minor little things here that are super critical. But you scroll down the page, you have 3 videos on what we do. You have our platform, which I just described to you. You have our pricing. So, if you ever want to know the pricing, it's right here in the partner tool, by term and by size of customer. We have tips and tricks for getting an appointment. We have who you should target. And we have scripts you can use. And if you don't get your arms around this, you're going to miss out on the wave. So this is critical. So just one important thing I want to talk about. Number one, when you reach out to the client, don't call their baby ugly. One likes when you call their baby ugly, right? And IT people have big egos. So it could go wrong if you're not using the psychological methods we've come up with, which are super simple. Don't call their baby ugly, and don't scare them into a heart attack. Keep it low key, keep it down, keep it down, right? And just say, hey, listen, I'm going to paraphrase what these emails say. This is what I do when I talk to customers. Hey, listen, we do cybersecurity, and we had our team check out your email domain on the dark web, and unfortunately, at Fox News, we found over 9,000 employees with breached Fox News credentials. That's not good. Now understand, it's nothing Fox News did wrong. You see how I'm tempering it? Nothing you did wrong. Nothing you need to worry about, Mr. IT person. Nothing you're going to get fired for. That's the psychology behind this. But it shows that your employees haven't been trained effectively, right? And we need to get on this. So why don't we do this? Why don't we carve out 30 minutes with our team? We'll go over the detail of this report for you. We'll show you all the users. We'll show you where they got hacked. We'll show you what their password is if you want to see it. We've got access to it all. And we'll take a few minutes, we'll go through that report, and then we'll talk about how to remediate it. So do you notice what we're doing here? We're using the report, which I'm going to show you here right now, the detail report, to get the meeting. It's the carrot. So, it's a carrot to get the meeting. You're teasing them a little bit. You're hooking them like a fish, and then we're reeling them in. Hey, we got to set a meeting to go through this with you, and that's it. We have partners who've literally decided to go full bore in cybersecurity using this tool, closing 40, 50, 60 deals in a short time frame. You could easily do that too. So let's show you the report here. So I ran one on this on a fake company, because I'm not going to show you real data, of course. Let me just look them up here. It's called Abco, not real, but you can get a feel for the report. So this is the report we will hold for the customers. So you can see here, there's a lot of people that have been breached here. So first column is the user, their email address. Second is the website they got hacked on. Third is the date of the breach. Don't get caught up in old dates. It doesn't mean anything. People try to make themselves feel better because it's an old date. But an old date is not a good date. Anyone that shows up here is a big problem. Confidence score is how confident are we in the data behind the breach. We look at every breach individually. Anything 40 and above is bad. 100 is as bad as it gets. And then on the right is their passwords. So we have them partially redacted. You see it, we have them X'd out here. I can unredact them here because these are not real. So you can see kind of what we have. But, like as an example, like this J. Smith was hacked on a website called Bikazi Fashion. So this J. Smith was using his or her business email address on Bikazi Fashion. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to go there and even check it out, but it sounds like a fashion site. They got hacked June 13th, and he's using the password Sean1, or he or she is using the password Sean1. This is a big problem. I don't even care about the passwords, really. What I care more about is the site that was breached, because with that information, I could create a spearfish against you and come at you like I'm coming at you from Bikazi Fashion to get you to click. The other thing that we do is we have this drop down where you can see what data was compromised. So on that one, it was just emails. But if I go down to, I don't know, let's go Adobe. Adobe was just email. So we can see exactly what was compromised, email. So if like social security numbers were stolen or credit card numbers, we would indicate all that also. I'm telling you right now, use this tool, play with it, get me on the phone. I'll help you understand how to use the tool. I can teach you how to do mail merges, so you can run like 100 customers at a time and do a mail merge and send out an email with the breaches included in the email for each of your customers. If you do this, you are going to get a lot of sales. And start with the basics, right? It's really easy. So we have 8 minutes left. I'm going to go back through the questions here. So Krista asked, is this the dashboard we, the partner, see, or is this what the customer sees? This is for customers only. We will not give the partners access unless the customer says you can have access. Too scary. Too much detail in here. Is this being recorded? Yes, Larry, it is. And I enjoyed seeing you in Philadelphia, by the way. Let's see here. How are you getting the data? Not going to tell you that, because we purposely keep this very low key because we don't want the bad guys to know what we're doing. But I can tell you it is real, it is legit, and those are those people's passwords. 100% certainty. Let's see here. A lot of answers on what phishing is. Does your security awareness program also include a dashboard? I think you just saw that, Keith. Amy, my camera is broken on my phone. Can you please send me the link for the partner report? You bet we will. Is there a support for show and tell with a potential customer and demo? Russ, yeah, it was good seeing you in Nashville, by the way. As you guys can tell, I'm on the road quite a bit. So couple things that you can do. I will send you a 3-video series that we have on YouTube that allows the customer to see an 8-minute demo, and then a 2-minute demo of the manager portal, and a 2-minute demo of the employee portal. That's always the best place to start. See if you can hook them without having to do a physical demo. I really am the fan of, this product pretty much sells itself. But if you get to the point and you say, listen, this customer needs an in-depth meeting, we'll schedule a meeting. Like, it's all good. Like, we have no problem doing that. It's just like, I want to teach you to fish. I want to teach your customers to fish for themselves. Real fishing, in this case, not fish fishing, like the bad guys. But I want to teach you all to close the stuff on your own eventually. But yes, we're happy to do those. Let's see here. Okay, let me go back down to the bottom. Keep asking the questions, everybody. So Thomas said, wasn't able to get in front of my computer before now. What do I need to do in order to get the partner report for the email breaches? So actually, you know what I'm going to do right now? Hold on a minute. In the chat window, I'm going to put the link to this tool. So go ahead, if you didn't do the QR code earlier, just go ahead and click on that link. That's a real link. Again, it's not a test. Go ahead and click on that link and then register. Just remember, until we approve you, which will be the same day, you're not going to have access. Once we approve you, you will get an email from something called WordPress. WordPress is what we use to monitor logins to this tool. So you'll get an email saying to go ahead and log in. Who do we connect with for collateral within our customer base to reach out to? Who do we? So Krista, for now, reach out to me. It's just, I'll sit here. I'll put my email in here. Eventually, you're gonna be, reaching out to your channel managers. Copy them on any requests so we can keep them in the loop for now. We're in the process of getting the teams trained up because we were just acquired, a month or 5 weeks ago. So we're in the process of getting everyone trained up. But you can always email me, copying your channel manager. We'll be happy to get you anything that you want. So we've got about 4 minutes left. So I wanna ask you guys some questions. I really want your input here. One of the things that's critical to me, absolutely critical, is when we do these types of talks that means something to you. Like you didn't waste your time, right? Because I know you're busy. I'm busy, right? Everyone's busy. So we want to make sure that when we get in front of you, you walk away with the wow factor of, okay, yeah, I learned something. I got a new golden nugget. I got a new product I can sell. Whatever. I learned something I didn't know about cybersecurity. So one of my plan, and I want you to chime in on this. This is where I want you to chime in. Is my plan is to really go. If you know me, I love doing this stuff. I love getting it. I'd rather be in front of live people, no doubt. But this is okay. So we're going to start after the first year, hopefully, and I want your input on this. Is a series of these, maybe one every month to start, maybe one every 2 weeks, but where we bring somebody in from cybersecurity to talk. Not X's and O's, but high level on kind of what's going on in there and how you can take advantage of it. And this is my inaugural approach to that. So I want you in the chat window, because I didn't have time to set up like a form and stuff like that, but rate the content here on 0 to 10, 10 being awesome and you like to see more of it, 0 meaning Ira sucks, his dog's barking, annoy me, and I'll probably never jump on another one again. But I'd love to see your comments because, I've got to make sure this has value. Otherwise, it's no good. And so, if somebody asks a question, can potential customer use the product for 2 weeks through their IT peeps? Ross, I don't really understand that. I don't understand that question, so you can hit me up. Separately if you want. So my dog barking got a 10 and Ira got a 7. Okay, perfect. That's great. I love it. A 2-week trial. So we generally don't do trials, Ross, because there's a lot of setup here, right? I mean, we have to sync into their Outlook and, we got to sync their employees, and to do a trial, it's pretty tough. But I will tell you this. We've done them for really good opportunities. So one of our partners is close a really large company on a cold call, 300,000 users or something like that, and they said to us, hey, listen, we want to trial this, and so we did it, right? So it all depends on the circumstance. If you got a good deal, there's a good chance we can close with the trial. You bet. I'm totally open to that. And, Ross, 500 seats. Yeah, we would do that. Absolutely. Sweet spot. How many employees? Honestly, we have customers with 2 employees. We want those? There's no money in it, but it's all right because they grow and they know people who own bigger companies who they could refer us to. So we'll take those. Our sweet spot right now, if you look at just the average of our customers. Now, remember, we only sell through partners, not direct. So we're sort of at the mercy of what you all bring in. Our average customer runs 300 to 400 seats right now on average. But that doesn't mean that 50 seats, 25 seats, or 5,000 seats isn't one we'll take. Our biggest customer, I think, is around 5,000-6,000 seats right now. We got that big one that's 300,000 seats, but we only have a trial going for them for one of their companies. They own 80 companies at 500 employees. But Average cost per seat, Thomas, it depends on the size. Again, it's in the partner portal. You can check that out later today. But it runs anywhere between $1 and $5 per user per month for everything you see. Everything you see on the screen right here. So it's very economically. Who do you use for email security? Email security. So email security, we use a company called Mail Protector. We'll do another demo on that here in the coming weeks, I think. Let's see here. The 3 videos are critical. Can these be sent to prospects? So Philip, you cannot send them from our partner portal, but we have the same videos on our YouTube channel. So yes, you can let them see them. Confirmation email, confirmation of registration is coming from WordPress. Yes, that's what we use to manage our subscriptions on the partner tool. How can we get the customer's MSP on our side? Won't they feel like we're competition? You got to be a little careful there. I'll be honest. I mean, I'll tell you, I know a lot of MSPs, and actually a lot of MSPs are selling our stuff. But many of these companies are not selling security training. So what I would do before you like go to their customers is just have a discussion with them. Find out what they actually do. See what they don't do, and then try to bring them in. Try to bring them into the fold. Do you have examples of the training videos? There are a lot of complaints out there around training being too cartoonish or dismissive in nature. I'm just curious what your format looks like. Sasha, I love that question. And that's very good. So yes, we do have some examples. What I should do is let me see if I can grab some of the sample videos and put a couple up on YouTube. And we'll create a playlist because I agree with that. People don't like the cartoon videos. That's why we use all real actors and actresses. Sasha, what does the model look like when we the MSP is the client? So that's a good question. So sometimes MSPs want to resell our security awareness training to their customers, and they can do that. We can set them up with the ability to do that. So that's not a problem. They would get billed, and they would bill whatever they want to their client. I would think that the best verticals are companies that manage financials or medical data. Nate, that's a good take. I will say though, yes, those are good, but they're not the only. These bad guys don't care. Every industry is at risk. Let's see here. Sorry, when the MSP is the client. Okay. All right. Hopefully I answered that. But anyway, so we're 3 minutes over. Man, I always try to start and stop on time. I blew it today, but there were a lot of good questions. You all are amazing. I love every partner. I love working with you all. I love helping you pivot and make more money. If you know me, you know me. If you don't, you'll get to know me. That's the way I am. So please, I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and we look forward to doing lots of business with you. And get registered for our partner portal. Start playing. Let's go see who can close the first deal out of everyone on this call. There's a lot of you on the call, but let's see who can do it, and we'll celebrate you. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for listening to Harper and Hazel bark. I'm out of here. Have a great day.